Hello and welcome back to the Bitcoin Business Lounge. I'm Walton, your host, here live on RoxomTV. It is, of course, Freedom Friday, and I'm honored to be rejoined by the number one guest of the show, at least by appearances at this point. Kiki, welcome back to the Business Lounge. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm very well. I say this and then I pause and I think, am I very well? I think like, mostly, you know, we talk a lot about the various things that Bitcoin doesn't fix, and you have to, you know, empower yourself to fix. Have I done all of them? Maybe not quite yet, but you know, we keep moving forwards. I'm certainly not sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good start.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, about the same.
About the same.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? The sun is shining in London.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, it's great.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion: the sun shines more than people realize in London. Huh?
Maybe true.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So I thought for today we'd talk a little about some of the unpopular opinions that Bitcoin is a reference, right? One of the hit tweets is to state an unpopular opinion. And I'm going to start by reading one here from Arizona Hodl, who said that there should be social punishment for people who say unpopular opinion and then state a popular one.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like it's a bit like the you know, the people that go breaking and then it's some news. It's unpopular opinion and then just like any opinion.
So are all opinions popular or unpopular?
No, I think it's more that just the unpopular. It's more like people know it's both popular. It's just a divisive point usually, rather than a
unpopular.
Right. It's often engagement farming, isn't it? It's like Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your unpopular opinion? Here's another one. Unpopular opinion from Desiree Dixon. Unpopular opinion: Bitcoin Orange is ugly. Not even sorry. I think she's right.
Yeah, completely agree.
That's from 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
I don't like the logo either.
You don't like the B with the like? No.
No.
It's too much like Bugatti or something. It's a bit of a Fiat logo. You think?
No, not necessarily. It's just like.
The letter B isn't sexy.
Right. Like
what would you have instead though for Bitcoin? That's a difficult one.
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. So I haven't shared it publicly because I don't have the answer to it. But it doesn't inspire me. On
Tuesday, I was continuing readings from the Book of Satoshi on Twitter Spaces as part of Teach Me Tech Tuesdays, and looking at posts from 2010 where I think it was 2010 or maybe 2011, certainly in that, you know, very, very early period where Satoshi is discussing the new Bitcoin logo at the time, which was just a B on a coin, which was replacing BC on a coin. And of course now we have you know, the angled B with the double strike through it, with a little chip out of a small part of it. You know about the little?
No.
There's like a little imperfection on the Bitcoin logo.
What?
You don't know this?
No, I haven't.
We have to pull this up now. I have to like, don't trust verify, right? I have to prove the point. Yeah, let me find this because this is. I think this is funny. I can't even just. How would you describe it? Like, if there's like, I think chip doesn't seem to hit land apparently.
No, I know what you mean when you say chip. I've just never heard of this before.
13th of February 2023, Creative Block did an article saying that it's hardly the most famous logo around. It certainly wasn't the work of a hugely well-paid agency. The Bitcoin logo was created by a community forum member back in 2010, so it was 2010. Oh no, but in that case it changed a couple times. I don't think this is correct. I think this is from slightly later. So perhaps we can forgive a few design imperfections. It says nearly 13 years Blah blah. If you zoom in on the vector, you can spot a few pixels from the orange background protruding into the B. It says, ironic, seeing as one famous Bitcoin slogan is "When in doubt, zoom out." Something about seeing the bigger picture, etc. And like apparently one of the curves of the letter isn't perfectly smooth either. But there is. Let me find. Yeah, let me see if I can find this little indentation. Let's see if another picture of it. But yeah, so unpopular opinion: the Bitcoin logo is not perfect.
That sounds like a fact.
I mean, it is a fact, yeah. But it's still an unpopular opinion because apparently not. I don't think many people know.
No.
Yeah.
This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So another unpopular opinion.
You're asking me?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Well, I tweeted the other day that just that one of the reasons we haven't reached mass adoption, and I guess I specifically meant like amongst women, is because it's just not particularly sexy.
We need to make Bitcoin sexy again, right?
Right.
Yeah. And like dressing like homeless people, isn't it?
Doesn't help. No.
Yeah.
No.
Here's an unpopular opinion from Michael Tidwell, who organizes a great conference called TabConf in Atlanta in October each year, and works for ZBD. He's a great individual. I really love Michael Tidwell. But his unpopular opinion, which I think Arizona is going to want some public justice for. Michael Tidwell's unpopular opinion: you can be your own treasury. Thank you, Michael. Yes, we were all Bitcoin treasury chads before the Bitcoin treasury cucks came along. I agree. But I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. I think everyone,
Yeah.
Maybe it is amongst these new fiat bros, but.
Yeah. I guess it is unpopular these days, or at least on the internet. Everybody. Yeah.
Here's an unpopular opinion. Oh, sorry, not an unpopular opinion from someone who I think has unpopular opinions, but also, see, maybe you can guess who the not unpopular opinion is from.
Oh no.
All Sailor does now is post AI pictures of himself with a six-pack, make absurd price predictions, and shill his stock as being better than Bitcoin. The antics would be far more tolerable if he actually promoted the freedom angle of Bitcoin, but he doesn't.
Oh, that could be so many people.
I'll give you a clue. He recently rage quit Twitter to go to Nostra and then came back after a couple of days.
That could be so many people.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't narrow it down.
Well, shout out to Predator. I kind of agree with that one.
Okay.
Nonsense.
Fair enough. What's your unpopular opinion?
That people shouldn't actively orange pill. I'll read my pinned tweet that's been there for a while. At Bitcoin enthusiasts, stop trying to orange pill normies. Just use it as a catalyst for lowering your time preference and become the best version of yourself. When normies then ask why you're cool, just say Bitcoin and fuck off. Make Bitcoin sexy again. Influence needs to be low time preference, and it's not. Education needs to be opt-in the same way that Bitcoiners respect that the best kind of network is an opt-in one. The best money system is an opt-in one. Mm-hmm. The best education is opt-in. You can't force education at people and expect them to move on a particular timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my unpopular opinion is that a lot of Bitcoiners are way more high time preference than they acknowledge to themselves. I think we see this especially notably so in their attempts at educating normies about Bitcoin.
Yeah, there can be, for some people, there's a big like savior complex about it as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We talked about this with Roger and also Susie previously on the show. That I think you come to Bitcoin, you want to kind of share the gospel after you've kind of after you feel like it's saved you a bit, but you feel like it saved you, but it doesn't look like it saved you to people even close to you necessarily, because probably you're hodling and you're not actually like. If anything, maybe your quality of life dropped because, seemingly because you can now save effectively instead of influence is a strange one. What unpopular opinion do you have about Bitcoiners rather than Bitcoin?
Oh. I mean, I have a couple. I'm just thinking about which one I feel is appropriate to share.
Which one is like the like first blow before you kind of warm them up for? You got one that's a bit of a knockout, and you need to kind of land a little body shot first.
Yeah, I guess so. Unpopular opinion about Bitcoiners. Maybe this is less of an unpopular opinion and just like something that I would like to see is like a lot of Bitcoiners are like really like uptight. Like maybe everyone should just take a deep breath would be helpful.
To me it's that a lot of Bitcoiners, and actually I'm going to quote do you know Feynman?
Another one, but go on.
Do you know Feynman?
No.
The physics professor from many years ago. Okay, so he's a bit of a philosopher, at least in his writings as well. And there's a good account on Twitter called Prof Feynman, so it just like puts out quotations from him. And one of them is that I retweeted a few days ago. If you're not having fun, you're not learning. There's a pleasure in finding things out. And I think what happens is Bitcoiners learn about Bitcoin and they're loving life when they're learning about Bitcoin, and then they stop learning about Bitcoin and they stop learning about other things, and then sit around and complain on Twitter and other platforms about I don't know, various things. And it's because they thought Bitcoin was the last level.
Right. Yeah.
Makes sense. They're like, oh well, I've got to the top now.
Yeah.
I'm at Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But as I was talking with Susie and Roger, there are these levels of consciousness, and the essentially I extracted from Roger's words that his thesis is that fiat drives you. I feel like this is his thesis, but I worded it from what he was saying. His thesis is that with these different levels of consciousness, the negative ones kind of being down the bottom and the top being about like love and enlightenment, peace, joy, etc. Fiat drags you down in these levels of consciousness, and Bitcoin can help you to move up in these levels of consciousness. But there are lots of Bitcoiners that get stuck in this middle level, 175. I don't know how they score this, but pride, and they don't move ahead to courage, enabling them to go up to neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, enlightenment. They don't have they don't seem peaceful. They don't love the world. They seem incredibly black-pilled, but they give themselves a star, a sticker that says, "I bought Bitcoin. I'm a genius."
Yeah. And for some people, it's like end of personality there, you know? Like it becomes their personality, and that's really sad.
Hey, for some of these people, they didn't have a personality before, so I like that, like, you know, Bitcoin is now...
And on the contrary, I'd love to see, like, people who have, like...
assimilate it into normal life, basically.
Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day. I was watching somebody do a presentation, IRL. Crazy, I know.
What?
I know. I was watching someone do a presentation on Bitcoin security, and they were talking a lot about opting out, the idea of opting out, which is something that I've like subscribed to, I guess. You know, it's a really common phrase. The tote bag that I have today says something about opting out. But as they were talking, I was kind of reflecting on the idea of opting out.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to a point in my thought process where I thought, maybe we have this like slightly wrong. Like, it's a wonderful idea, and I totally understand why it's important to be, you know, self-sovereign. I know you had Bill on the show the other day, and to prioritize these things, have the Citadel, be off-grid, be able to support yourself in every kind of way. However, like just opting out entirely and creating like an entirely like parallel society and not existing in like the rest of the world, at least for me personally, like I don't know if that's actually what I want. I don't want to like be a hermit, and it's great to think of like the Citadel and do it with a bunch of families and, you know, live in this utopia, but I just don't know that the reality is quite there.
Hey, look, a lot of Bitcoiners, I guess us to some degree as well, like aren't necessarily in the middle of the fiat society, right? We're kind of a bit at the edges, and so maybe it's unsurprising that some of these individuals get off on the idea of becoming, you know, little feudal lords, like like what's that guy from Shrek called, the Farquaad. There's a whole bunch of Bitcoiners that just basically want to be Farquaad. Let's be honest, right? Like they just want the crowds cheering for them, the shitcoiner peasants in the street that they can sneer at. Like they wanna lord over some people.
Okay.
You know, with their 10 million sats. Like,
yeah.
And you know, maybe one day that, you know, that little fantasy of theirs will become true, and they'll. But I think one, it's unlikely, and two, like how do you get to that? I don't see how that transition happens really, or what. Like, how do you set up your little weird slave farm thing? Bitcoiners are all about freedom, but then they want to like have some indentured servitude from some shitcoiners, or.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I do think Citadel surfing is going to be really good. You know, the concept of couch surfing. I'm trying to get this term Citadel surfing going. As Bitcoiners get wealthier, right? People start, instead of, you know, staying on couches, staying in, you know, probably some quite nice little guest castles and things, right? Like, it's going to be an interesting thing. Is everyone going to be moving around on blimps? I don't know. I feel like at some point that was the hot new thing in the conversation of you know, sovereignty LARPing, of like, oh, we can all, if we all have like blimps, we could have like a peer-to-peer blimp network.
What?
You know, because like air travel is one of the few things where you have to kind of engage with the state, even if you live in kind of the middle of nowhere. Like, if you do want to travel internationally, it's quite difficult without kind of show us your papers being a thing.
Right.
I mean, I've not done it. I don't know about. Are you good at smuggling yourself over borders? You probably shouldn't admit that on TV anyway. You know, like it's yeah. The Bitcoiners have a lot of freedoms, and a lot of the freedom they they choose the freedom to complain. I feel like as one of the biggest things.
Yeah, that's very
And I appreciate
true.
the irony of here. I guess technically sat here complaining about these people complaining about stuff, but
Yeah.
got to do it professionally at least. But I do think, I don't know. Unpopular opinion. I only want real Bitcoin. None of this like treasury nonsense. Is that an unpopular opinion now, Kiki? Do you think?
Kind of.
Feels like it. Right?
It feels like it. Yeah. But also, like, maybe this is just a passing thing. Like, we've seen lots of these sorts of exciting new things come up, but this one, I don't know. It does feel like it's entrenched now, to a certain extent.
So how do you feel about suit coiners? Are suit coiners making Bitcoin sexy again?
Great question. Maybe if like the suit is well tailored. But no, probably not. I mean, I feel like there's two questions there. How do I feel about suit coiners? I feel like it doesn't really matter how I feel about them. They're gonna exist regardless. I don't need to like get too involved in it if I don't want to, but like
Jameson Lopp tweets yesterday, suit coin summer, laser ties till mempool dies.
Oh my god.
Yeah, retweeted by Rob Hamilton. I'm trying to find this tweet because I think Rob was talking about going to a tailor.
Nice.
You know, he's a professional suit coiner.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like, if we want everyone in the world using Bitcoin, if mass adoption is like a priority, then it's gonna like the suit coining is going to happen. We don't get there without it.
But I thought Jack Mallers established years ago that suit coiners just wear more expensive hoodies. Isn't that the like established like way of being a suit coiner in the Bitcoin space? Is you just pretend to not be wearing a suit instead of actually wearing the suit. Like, why do you have to wear the suit?
I mean, if they're well tailored, sometimes they look good.
Can hoodies be sexy?
Yes.
Are they usually?
Are they usually?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So to be more influential and to make Bitcoin sexy again, do we need more suits or more hoodies in Bitcoin?
Oh no.
I know, it's a horrible question.
It's definitely when it's one versus the other, it's definitely more suits.
I know, right? But I feel like, guys, maybe you need to learn. You can have that kind of look without it being a suit. The jacket and trousers don't have to match.
Right.
They can be they can be coordinated, but they don't need to be right.
They could also be like linen.
Sure, yeah. Like, forget about paper Bitcoin summer. Guys need to be doing linen Bitcoin summer, right? Like, this is the American mind couldn't comprehend, right? Seriously, like the way to do summer is linen and Europe and Bitcoin. That's all you need, guys. All right, and wine. But again, this is why you should be in Europe. Way better wine, right, Kiki?
Yeah.
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 Unpopular opinion. Bitcoiners are really good at saving money, but they're terrible at spending money. How's that for one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. This reminds me, earlier I said, I have one while we were talking. Bitcoiners have a really, really bad relationship to like scarcity versus abundance.
You mean it's been like hyper polarized by Bitcoin itself almost to make them, or you just think they just don't understand scarcity?
I'm not saying they don't understand scarcity.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's like one of the things that we talk about so much, but I think they take it too far, and then they embrace scarcity in their life a little bit too much. And a lot of Bitcoiners do not have like a good relationship to abundance, or like believe that they're abundant, or believe that the world around them is an abundant place.
I
Which
agree with
is
that.
kind of similar to what you're saying about great at saving, not necessarily great at spending.
Yeah. And by saying great at spending, I mean, I'm not saying it's about they're not good at spending enough of it. I don't
Right.
mean that. I meant more like what they seem to spend it on kind of random things. They don't necessarily spend it on things that align with values that they preach or
Right. Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Like mass-produced hoodies.
Sure. Yeah. Unpopular opinion. Bitcoin conferences are some of the most fun that you can have.
Yeah. That does seem like an unpopular opinion these days.
Yeah.
Which is hard for me to comprehend, but I agree completely.
I think people judge things from afar and like, sure, like Luke might, dox everyone, dox all your details to the FBI, things can happen, but like, come on, how private are you guys really compared to the state? You don't have to usually, KYC to a conference. So, like, you can go to conferences not anonymously or. I'm actually often surprised at kind of how Bitcoiners kind of created their own KYC system for events, and it's like, know your pseudonym, KYP, I don't know, something like that. Like you can be like, oh yeah, that person is, you verify
your NIM.
Your NIM, right? You get like, I don't know how to describe this. Do you think you know what I'm talking about here, right? You can attend as a NIM, right? But you have to that person has to be a character, has to or
like there's tons of people. I have like
there's speakers, right, that don't dox themselves.
I have friends that like I have no idea not only what their last name is, but certainly like what their first name is too.
Dude, I've been friends with Shinobi for years, and like kind of don't care really at this point. Like,
yeah. It's great. I think it's cool.
Well, I feel like at some point also, these people lean into their NIM so much that actually that is them.
Right.
Maybe it was an escape from the real world or just like a parallel identity.
Right.
But at some point they become that NIM, and whoever their, I don't know, the other fragments of their identity are kind of on the side. They're no longer the kind of core or the. Yeah. Unpopular opinion. Bitcoiners lean into characters they build online.
Often, yeah.
And feel they need to continue the brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion. Bitcoiners are too obsessed with beef. Kiki? I'm trying to remember now. The unpopular opinion as we went off air was about Bitcoiners not kind of forgetting what life's all about, right? Like becoming hyper obsessed with the concept of saving, and then that preventing them from being in the present, right? Essentially, if you're always saving, you're always in the future rather than living in the present.
Yeah. I think your question was either unpopular opinion, Bitcoiners need hobbies or they don't have hobbies, or you were asking about that, and I said without having like something else outside of Bitcoin to like interest you and engage you and stuff like that. As you said, a lot of people end up fixating on individual parts, and what I was saying is it's very easy to create this like bubble, this world where you have no outside touch points really. Like for some people it's like, I don't have any normie friends, or I don't have a relationship with my family because they think I'm crazy, or whatever it is, like people end up isolating. And when that happens, when you don't have, you kind of lose sense of like reality a little bit. You put yourself in a bubble, and you end up, or what I've seen happen is like people end up losing the entire point of what inspired and interested them in Bitcoin in the first place. And a good example of that is like people talking about how Bitcoin is generational wealth, et cetera, but aren't doing anything to have a next generation to continue on to.
I think some of it's harder, and it's for a reason that we've talked about before. And I quote, there's a tweet that I wrote in 2021. Saving in a disinflationary currency enables you to worry less about the future and focus more on the present. This additional headspace enables you to carefully consider your choices and thus choose meaningful ways to contribute value. So it's the same thing we've been talking about for weeks, right? I've been talking about for years, because it is because I've always I appreciate time, and that's why I appreciate Bitcoin. Other people have come at Bitcoin from different ways, and I think they haven't quite yet learned to appreciate time, or that this time gets given back to them. They don't use that time meaningfully, right? They don't use it to contribute as much value as I think they would like to feel other people are seeing from them. As in, I think they want to contribute, but maybe sometimes don't know how to engage with different parts of different groups, different people that they need to.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like, you mentioned before, Bitcoiners are too focused or obsessed with beef. Like, there's a lot of these like silly little rules that have been created, and I think it makes some people feel like, oh, I can't share this other part of me, or this thing that I like. Maybe it's films. I'm really into films, but I've been told that films are fiat.
Lol.
Right?
That's hilarious. So what?
What?
I mean, I think after a certain point, there's a whole bunch of like, politics that gets infused. And sure, there's propaganda in films, sure, but there's also a lot of art in them, etc. Just a final thought here on Freedom Friday, because we've got a wrap. I would love if Bitcoiners realized that Bitcoin, more than anything, gives you the freedom to be an individual, and that means you don't have to subscribe to all of this groupthink. So go out there, talk to some different people. Not all normies are terrible. Yes, they might have some differing opinions, but so do Bitcoiners, right?
Talk to strangers.
Talk to strangers. Use your freedom to talk to strangers. Thank you. This was Freedom Fridays on the Bitcoin Business Lounge. I'm your host, Walton. Shout out to Mr. Hoddle if you're watching. New regular viewer, so thank you. Take care. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Kiki.
Thanks.